The rifts have been wide and the wounds seemingly unhealable. Once the president has been sworn in, the first problem will be how to deal with the election itself. The opposition insists that it won the August 8th contest and says anyone who wants to prove it wrong should look at the IEBC servers to determine what happened then. The opposition then refused to participate in the fresh election which took place on the 26th of October. No election! Saying the IEBC would not deliver a free and fair contest. NASA has refused to accept the re-election of Uhuru Kenyatta even after the Supreme Court upheld his victory. And then there are the killings and injuries that have taken place during the electoral period, especially among supporters of the opposition.
There is no reason why the police should go and kill innocent people who have come to welcome Raila Odinga home. If Raila is the problem, arrest him. Arrest him. Take him to prison. Take him to jail. And if you want to shoot Raila. But then don't kill these young precious lives with young families.
David Oginde, the Bishop of Christ is the Answer Ministries, believes that after the president is sworn in, he will have to listen to all these views for the nation to move forward.
Sasa ni nafasi ya sisi wote, bila ya kujali tumechaguliwa na chama gani, bila ya kujali tumetoka sehemu gani. Ni nafasi yetu sasa ya kujenga daraja za urafiki, undugu, umoja katika kazi ya kupeleka taifa letu mbele kwa maendeleo.
The church, he says, will be a willing mediator to bring the two sides together and bring reconciliation.
There are those people who think we are done with elections, it is all over, let's move on with our lives. There are those people who are saying elections didn't even take place in the first place. So let's now organize ourselves for a fresh election. So there are these two camps that have very strong positions. That's why I said we need to now bring these two camps together and say, what is the best way forward? You believe this is how you look at things. This is how this other group looks at things. Where is the common ground and how can we move forward? That is what reconciliation is all about. And that will require a conversation. So one side cannot dismiss the other.
Many stakeholders in the political process in the country have argued that the tribal animosity often experienced during the electoral periods has been persistent because of the perceptions of lack of equity in the division of national resources and that appointments to high-profile public offices are only a preserve of the communities that support the ruling party.
It is not something that you can just sit down and say, I will pick so-and-so and pick so-and-so from different parts of the country and put them together and say there is equity. Because people need to feel that the person who has been appointed represents me or represents us. You have seen situations where people are appointed but the community from where that person comes disown them. They say that is not our man, you know, it doesn't speak for us.
Oginde believes that the nation needs a short-term, medium and long-term strategy for national reconciliation. While Kenyans heal in the short term, in the medium term there needs to be electoral reforms that will make everyone feel that they are part of the electoral process and that their vote counts.
We have spent 70 billion shillings and we don't have an election that all Kenyans are agreed on. That is really a waste of good resources. So we should not get into that. I mean, some countries are spending so much less and ending up with a very good elections. So really, I think if we can look at that whole electoral process, everything to do with elections, that needs to be sorted out.
In the long term, there have to be plans that address the underlying causes of animosity and the issues that make some sections of Kenyans feel that they don't belong in the country and would be better off seceding to form nations of their own.
Whereas there's definitely a calm that is coming upon the nation, that calm cannot be assumed to be a sense of peace, because peace has to do with an internal state of an individual. So I can be very calm, but very angry. As I relate with you, you can be talking to me, but I have chosen not to do anything about what I feel about you. But deep within, I'm feeling very, very strong emotions. And should an opportunity or a chance come for me to act, that's where you find people act in ways that surprise people, simply because they had bottled within them some very, very strong emotions.
In his attempts to reach out to the opposition and those who did not vote for him, however, the president could end up sowing discontent within his own camp, as some of his supporters who may feel left out fight for recognition for themselves or strive to maintain the status quo. Andrew Ochieng, NTV.